We got Brandon Girtz back here on the program. Brandon, how are you, man?
I'm great, brother. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. It's good to see you again and good to talk to you about an upcoming fight. I know the last time we spoke, you were coming off that injury. How was the rehab on that, and when were you able to get back to training full time?
It's like any hard rehab. It was grueling, but it's like I've always told people the rehab part is more mental. The physical part, that part's easy for me. It's the mental part, being out and everything like that, that takes its toll a little bit. But this one went great, man. It was being a shoulder and stuff like that. It was definitely new territory for me and whatnot. But I don't know if it's just because I like working upper body. It made it easy.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was going to ask you about that. How did this rehab compare to other injuries you've had? Was it more difficult, or would you say it was the same? How did it compare?
It was different. It had its moments where I felt it was harder because it was you can't walk. AC. I've had ACL before, and you can't walk, you can't move, but you still have, I don't know. I feel like you're able to do a lot with your arms and stuff when you can't. It was my right arm, so it's my dominant arm, and when you can't use your dominant arm, it's like it's a bitch for a while, man. So it was tough, but I think the thing that I love about this injury versus like a knee injury is I was able to start training right away, and it was stronger where I wasn't worried about re-injuring it. Like I've never through rehab and been able to go harder on it, harder and harder. I've never really felt like re-injuring it. It's been strong from the get-go versus like a knee. You're always like, oh, I was always worried about my knee re-hurting. It felt like it was so susceptible to getting re-hurt. The arm, it's felt great. So I feel good about it.
That's good. When were you able to walk your dog again? Because I know you and your dog have got a pretty special bond.
Like I said, when we were able to do stuff right away, I was able to move, and I feel like we got into it really, really quick. I mean, there was a lot of stuff I was still able to do. Like, I mean, I look at it, with this training camp and stuff. When we took the fight, we were looking for a little later. When I broke it down, I mean, I've been working out hard for the last 6 months. I've been training, wrestling, hitting pads for a very long time. Like I said, I felt like I was able to do stuff a lot earlier than say a knee.
The other thing that's happened between the last time we saw you fight and now is I know you switched management groups. You're with Janus Sports now. How did that all come together? With getting to link up with them.
I had a lot of good friends that worked with them, and I just kept hearing great things about them, and just the way that they're in Bellator. They're in Bellator a lot. They have a lot of names in it, and with management, it's different for every person. Like who works out well for you. And I just liked how involved they are in Bellator, and which is huge. And I like how they work with brand building. It's not just about fighting and that stuff. So that's kind of how I linked up with them. I just had a lot of friends that had a lot of good stuff to say about them.
Okay, and no issues with your last management, or was just you felt like this was a better fit?
No, no issues at all, man. I think they were great. I just think with everybody, you need a little bit different.
Of course, you got to customize, and like you said, the Bellator stuff. I think that it makes more sense, being that you are a Bellator fighter. You want sort of the best fit for that going forward.
Exactly. Bellator is my home. I've never thought of anywhere else. I want to retire there, and that's where I've been with Bellator for what 6 years now. So I don't.
You're a
I
veteran
I
now, which
like.
is weird to say because like I remember it feels like just yesterday you were making your debut, but you've been in the promotion for a while and you've kind of made a name for yourself there, which is awesome.
Exactly, exactly. Bellator is it's the only place I really see, and like you said, the word veteran, which is a weird word, but it's definitely where I am nowadays. Even with this injury, it kind of helped me not see that, but I was able to help my gym out a little bit more, start doing more things like that. I felt like with this injury, I was able to really grow because like I said, I was still able to be in the gym quite a bit, and with that, I think I grew a little bit just. Um, like I said, being in there, being able to help out the young up and comers, and then kind of take on that role. I got a lot of knowledge in the sport. It's not just I'm not just out there, killing people. I've learned a lot of things over the years now.
Yeah, is coaching something you see yourself doing after you retire?
I'll always be a part of it. I love the aspect of MMA. And wrestling and all that stuff is definitely goes through my blood. So I don't know what my part will be, like it's I'm one of those people that I don't know where I'm going for sure. I have no exact plans, but I kind of let the journey take me, and I know I'll always be a part of it in some way.
How is camp going at Genesis? I hear there's a lot of cross training going on with other gyms or fighters coming in. How's that been?
Yeah, it's been great. I'm in a different spot in my training and my journey in my life now with training. It's not exactly one back in the day I went to a facility and I went to class at 11 o'clock every single day every week, for 4 freaking years. I didn't miss. But now it's a little different. I do a lot of specialized training. I do a lot of stuff with my coach. It's a lot different. It's mixed up. And then I've also liked how, like I said, with the training, it's not just about my gym. We go other places. I work with other people, get different looks, and that's big right now. It's not one certain thing. I do a lot of, strength training. I mean, I've always done that, but I focus a lot on that and conditioning and doing it the correct way, not just going and throwing stuff around. So it's been good, man.
Who are some of the other training partners you get to work with in terms of cross training and all that?
I mean, we obviously Gaethje's been one of my big partners, and we still do that. I also got our Banks and Drew Dober. Drew Dober will help me a little bit. See, he's a southpaw. This guy likes to stand south a little bit, so it's a lot of mix up. There's a lot of names I can't really put my finger on it right now.
No, of course, yeah. It's not your job to do roll call. It's get in there and do training. I get you. That's fine. One of the things we always hear when someone's been off for a while for an injury is obviously the you gain weight. How is the weight cut going ahead of this fight? Has that process started?
Oh, that's fine, man. Weight's never really been an issue. I'm the opposite of a normal fighter or wrestler, man. Like I have problem. I don't eat enough. That's my problem. So just trying to obviously right now is implementing more food into my diet. I'm not gonna. It's a funny thing to hear from a wrestler, but I don't eat a lot. And but when I got the hard training and stuff like that, I really have to focus on eating and having my girl make sure my meals are prepared, and she packs me a lunch and she makes sure I eat it. Got bags of everything that say eat them. So that's my part. My weight's always good. I'm never one to fluctuate. I mean, like I said, if I wasn't fighting, I'd be doing something in fitness, man, because this is what I love to do. So I'm always working on something.
Obviously, you want to get some momentum going just with the injury time and everything. Have you sort of have a blueprint for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I want to fight 3 to 4 times this year. I've told them from the beginning that's why we're getting this one early in February, and I mean, knock on wood, whatever. But I keep saying healthy 2019, you're going to see an animal. I've had some bad luck with some injuries, lately, which has been crazy. I've never been injured in my life, until the last few years. So it's kind of one of those things. I kind of feel like it's my time to stay healthy. And if you see me stay healthy, I'm going to be going on a roll.
Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
Just check me out on Instagram or Twitter at Brandon Girtz MMA and Facebook. My sponsors, I want to shout out to Charlotte's Web CBD. That's a big thing right now, and you've seen it a lot in athletes, and they've been behind me before it's even been big. I've had them on my team for 3 years now, so big shout out to Charlotte's Web. Lawrence Leans Meats is my meat company, my protein company that's also feeding me every day. Them and Garden of Life, man, keep this body healthy. That's 2019 healthy.